Well, it's the end of a week. We have the Sabbath coming up. And this is entitled the 11th commandment because of something that I read, which has been attributed to the Prime Minister of Israel. So let us do the following. I'm going to read what he said, which so enraged me. Well, enraged. I don't usually get enraged, but let's say it pissed me off. Bennett said this about the third inoculation, which, as I've stated, is not new. It's just a little bit of whatever is left over from the Pfizer and before it goes offline because it'll be no longer effective. Quote from today on, there is a new commandment. Vaccinate your father and mother in order to ensure them long lives. Prime Minister Bennett, the Prime Minister of Israel. As I see, Bennett has replaced Moses. He's climbed up to the pinnacle of political power where he obviously has met with God. And God says, So, what can I do to help you? And he says, Well, you gave Moses 10 commandments, and well, you saw that it turned out, but I'm now your spokesman because I'm Bennett. I'm going to be going down the mountain. Could you write on, well, write on a piece of paper so that I don't forget it? The 11th commandment. Well, so Bennett came down, and everybody in the land of Israel is crowded around, and he says, Thus saith the Lord, and proceeds to read from a scrap of paper that he found blowing around on the mountain, the 11th commandment. Now, I, for one, find it strange that he has such a close relationship with God. I imagine a lot of the non religious people might even find it offensive, and the religious people will find it even more offensive. So I guess this is the way that Bennett is fighting for the hearts and the minds of the Israeli people. Oh, that sounds like Vietnam War, doesn't it, guys? Well, so that's what pissed me off this week. And look I'm pissed off at something in Israel instead of what's going around the world. So you Americans that are watching this can breathe a sigh of relief. I've been preoccupied with the shit going on here, and I haven't really looked at what's going on in America and with the lawlessness in the streets, etc., etc., etc. The Jewish community not knowing who they want to support. So let's talk about, you know what? Let's talk about God and Shabbat. That sounds like a good thing. Now, God created Shabbat, but God doesn't need to rest. And I said he rested on the seventh day, but what does he mean he rested? Well, basically, it means that God, whatever it is, finished the creation. And the seventh day of rest was a present. It was a present to all the forces of creation. Like saying, hey guys, we did a great job. Let's take a vacation now for however long another day would be in the cosmic sense. And then we'll get down to business. We'll make the garden. We'll give people ways of living, and they won't listen to us. And then, of course, they'll have to go out of the garden, and we'll introduce murder into the world because otherwise they won't know how to do it, and so on and so forth, until we go down, down, and down to all of the things that happened over the many eons of human development. And then suddenly something happened. The Holocaust. It sounds like a terrible thing, but the Holocaust were the birth pains of the state of Israel. Without the Holocaust, there will never be a state of Israel. So we say in Hebrew, Mimar Yitzim Matok, Well, from the bitterness of our existence, we have received fulfillment of prophecy. The state of Israel is strong. The bones live. And now, finally, once again, humanity will be forced to make a choice. Just like Cain made a choice. He didn't have to kill Abel. It's like humanity is going to make a choice to support Israel in the coming struggle or not. Let me tell you a secret. You know the winner is going to be? Just between me and you guys? It's going to be Israel, so it's really smart to be on the winning side. With that, I'm closed, and I will say Shabbat Shalom B'Menucha. Spend some time with your family, spend some time with your kids, spend some time with a good book. Let the world go by for one day and just say, I'm happy. I love people. This is Shabbat. I love God in any way I conceive him to be. And I honor and I'm thankful for the act of creation. So, with that, I will say goodbye.